There it is. Good morning, everybody.
Good
And welcome.
morning, afternoon.
Oh,
Good
well, good
morning.
afternoon to our East Coasters. Good morning to our Midwest, and West Coast
West
folks.
Coast.
Welcome to another episode of Triggered. um, I will allow everybody to introduce themselves, and I'll start by introducing myself real quick. My name is Aisha. I am a licensed stylist in Illinois, Chicago specifically. Chicago is Illinois. I'm just kidding. In Chicago. And I work primarily with tighter curls. I'm also an educator. And yeah, that's my whole spiel. Who wants to go next? Ronnie, want to go next? Or are you still doing something there?
I'm still doing something. Hold on. Meg.
I am Meg. I'm also typing at the same time. um, I am in New York. I do hair. I only do curly. It's exciting right now, and I can't wait to see what we talk about. So that's my deal.
Sunny.
Okay. Hi, I'm Sunny. I'm in Dallas, Texas. I do curls. I do silk presses. I do color, and that's about it. Adriana.
Hi, everybody. My name is Adriana, and I am a licensed stylist, and I have a salon in Tampa, Florida. I work primarily with curly hair across the entire curl spectrum. And we're just gonna chit chat with you guys today.
So,
I am Ronnie Jones.
Sorry.
I'm back.
Curl Jones. I am a master of tight curls, curly girls superhero. My superpowers are joy and freedom. Hey.
Really?
Yeah.
Welcome, everybody. So, this week, I don't know about the rest of y'all, but I have been getting some inboxes from clients asking about how should they go about cutting their hair. Has anybody else been getting inboxes about like doing their own cuts?
Oh
Yeah,
my
absolutely.
God. Yes. I got several. Like,
everything.
think I could cut my own hair? Like, can you show me? Can you help me?
We did. In the group that I take care of with my membership, we did a poll yesterday. I want to read you the results. This was not impromptu, but this is what happened in the group.
No, I'll be interested to hear.
Yeah, they definitely, while I'm pulling that up, I didn't expect the response that we got. And the first question was, here we go. Let's talk about haircuts. This was the poll. So how many of you have already cut your hair or are thinking I'll hold off as long as I can, but I may have to bring out the shears at some point? So there were 15 people who said they've already cut their own hair. And then it went to like, they'll hold off. It dropped down to 4. And then it dropped down to only 3 of like, no way, I won't. So my prediction is more than like 60% of someone's clients somewhere in the world is cutting their own hair for sure. I think that's definitely happening.
So when we think of cutting, or in their world, are they cutting just like the little scraggly pieces that they see, or are they just going ham like, you know what, I think I'm gonna just give myself a whole new shape? Do we think they're just cutting their ends?
You know, I never even thought about it.
Like if I just saw a I mean, you know,
I'm always asking when you haircut, how do you know?
That's a great question. Honestly, I wonder if they're just cutting their ends. So tell me this. Y'all can take turns. How do you feel about your clients actually cutting their own hair?
Oh Lord, it's a no for me. And it's not a control thing. It's a no. It's because your haircut, it's like the right undergarments. right? It's your foundation. If you don't have the right bra, your top is not going to look right. If you're not wearing the wrong underwear, I mean, imagine wearing one of those like bandage dresses and you got big draws that are all bunched up. It's not gonna look right. Your eyes gonna be like, why are her draws all bunched up in her dress like that? Haircuts are the same way.
I like
It's
that.
the foundation of your look. You can't cut your hair. You're gonna mess up. You're just gonna fuck it all up.
I've been seeing people like give themselves a whole new look, depending on what platform you're looking at too. Like my experience, TikTok, people, Brad Mondo like shows these videos where he duets with people and they're like giving themselves a legit mullet and all these like very radical haircuts are happening right now for sure. Like people are shaving
on purpose.
On purpose. Yeah, they're definitely doing like drastic looks, but I don't know. Do I think somebody's taking their hair and like chopping a big amount? I do. I think they're younger, but I think women who have like a career, they want to look a certain way. I think they're just kind of like pruning the window, you know, like just making sure the curtains are right, but everything else is a mess, you know?
So, well, okay. So I think that, yeah, if you have an intention of a certain look and you're trying to create that, fine, chop away, knock yourself out. But if you're trying to maintain a certain look, you can't do it. It's even if you're just like trying to get around the front, everything else is going to be a hot mess. You're not making it any better. You can't see what someone else can see. You don't know anything about the angles and and just the shape and how it's supposed to fall. And
when you don't have eyes behind your head, so you can't see like what cutting this is going to do to affect like all of this.
They can't even style that back part. Like, how are you going to cut the back? You can't even style it good. That's the part that's always the most jacked up.
Right.
I can't even. I mean, I love y'all, but y'all don't. But I don't think y'all can. No, me personally, it's a big, huge no. I'm not. You know what? Somebody in my community actually asked about the cutting and then said to us that maybe we should consider doing a tutorial to show them how. And it was like, hell no, I'm not going to show y'all nothing. I don't want you cutting your hair because I don't want you jacking up the church's money. That's what I do. It's like they cut they start cutting like, oh, let me cut that part. And then they cut this part and then they have holes. They have holes.
Listen.
And yeah, it's a mess. On top of the fact that when they come here for the first time, they're all like, so you're going to use those shears? Like, how much you going to cut? Like, you already don't want us cutting your hair. I definitely don't want you cutting your own hair.
Right. I mean, if you don't know the difference between buildup and low porosity, you don't need to be cutting your own hair.
If you care that much about porosity and you don't know how to do it,
they already think they experts at porosity and build up and all that. They already think they experts at all of that. YouTube, they went to YouTube University. They got their degree already. They are certified in everything natural hair already, even though they fro is jacked up. And so they feel like if they watch Natural 85, not to call nobody out, but if they feel like if they watch her little video of her pulling her hair down and pulling it and cutting it. What do? They do like this and they pull it straight down and and then they make that face and then they cut it straight across. And now they have a haircut. That's a haircut. And then they go by and then they go to the other side and they pull that side down and kind of measure it out. It never works. It's never the same, right? And then they have to cut some more. So they cut this side, then they cut a little bit more on the other side, and then they have a haircut. Or they take
even more tripped out.
Like a perimeter cut. Yeah, it's never
even more tripped out is that, and she just recently cut her hair, so it's not even a bad example to use her. She just did a whole video of her cutting her hair, blown out hair. So the hair was right here when she cut it, right? It was right here. She cut it up to here, right? She cut it about here. Well, I'm going to say she cut it up to about here, and then that shit went up to here. That's where it was going.
That's exactly what happened.
On the other side of the screen, the hairstylists everywhere are watching the video, and I mean, I'm not gonna comment on the cut because then somebody's gonna say that I'm hating. They're gonna say I'm hating.
Right. You can't have a personal.
The 180, which I call the front, because if you cut your own hair, you're gonna get a nice 180.
Mm-hmm.
That 180, well, she cut it blown out, so that 180 was kind of, even that was a little. It was struggling. It was. I don't have anything positive to say. I'm just gonna move on.
I know. I think it's important for people to understand that the reason why cutting your hair straight and then wearing it natural is that it doesn't translate the same way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can't accommodate for the spring factor of the hair. So when we talk about spring factor, we're talking about the way that curl stretches out. So if you cut it while it's here, and then you say, you know what, I think I want it to stop here. So you cut right here, and then this hair bounces all the way up into here. And now you have some short ass hair that you didn't even ask for, and now you got to deal with the repercussions of your actions. So there's when we're cutting, all of us, when we're cutting with curly hair, actually all of us for the most part cut dry. So we're cutting where those curls actually live at when they're dry. So again, when you're self-cutting, right? And you know what's even, I can't let it go. So what was even worse is
it was awful. It was just awful to watch. It was awful.
I will say,
how about this? If you pull your hair to let's be very clear. We all know about hair cutting. So anytime you pull so they're splitting it down the middle or wherever, and then they're pulling it straight down in the front. Well, let's be very clear. If I was in a salon and I was going to pull all your hair to one place and cut it, it would be in the back. It would not be in the front. That's like cutting a bob. You could pull the hair to the back in a pony. You could even pull it in a ponytail or twirl it, cut it, and you got a cute bob, right? But it's in the when you pull in the hair to one place, it's in the back. It's not in the front of your head and
it's
cutting
math. It's geometry.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's in the back of the head. So when you pulling all your hair to the front and cutting it, that's a no. That's always a no.
I mean, everybody's overcompensating for that front anyway when you do anything to yourself, because it's the only part of your fucking head that you can actually see. Like, you can only see the front. Meanwhile, while I'm in Walgreens standing behind you in line, I have to witness what's happening in the back of your head that you can where it is flat. I can talk about flatness, but where it's flat and where it looks like you laid down on the concrete before you entered the Walgreens. So I have to be subject to that out in here in the world. I have to see your cute 180, your front part where it's cute-ish, depends, because not everybody's killing that 180.
Right.
But what was tripped out is she went out and bought $70 shears. Like that was going to make a difference in how she pulled the hair down to here.
And $70 shears are not good shears.
Those are cheap. Them cheap, honey.
Those are cheap shears.
She might as well spend $10. She could have spent $10 at the Walgreens and got the same.
Been better off going to Joann's and get some $30 shears at Joann's.
You gonna get some sewing shears?
That's right.
Can you reference the video again? Someone's just
okay. So, if you are natural in the world, at some point in your life, you have followed Natural 85. That's who we're speaking of. And again, this is no shade against her, but when you put yourself out there publicly, you leave yourself open to people actually chatting about what they actually viewed. And so she recently, wasn't it like 2 weeks ago, she posted a video of herself giving herself did she call it a big chop-ish? Was it?
I didn't even know. I didn't know she did this until you just said it just now.
Oh, I thought I sent you a video. Me and Sunny definitely watched it.
Okay, maybe
we watched it. We had a good kiki about it.
We did it for research purposes because somebody's going to come back to the salon when outside opens back up and ask us, hey, did you see that video? And what did you think? And I mean, I'm going to say I didn't think about it. That's going to be my answer when we come back to the salon. I didn't think about it, but she cut her own hair. She said that I forgot what she said, the reason why she cut it. because everybody's cutting their hair all of a sudden. No shade, but a lot of people,
a lot of videos.
That always happens. That happened.
They're
when
just
people started
bored.
doing papers.
Well, yeah. I mean,
They're bored, and everybody just wants a life change right now. So because they're stuck in the house, they're like, I just need to do something.
Yeah.
And
it's
the thing is that hair is like the only thing that they could maybe possibly control in their life right now, because outside is closed, like work is up in the air, like so many elements of our lifestyles are up in the air, or our life, that you feel like, all right, perhaps my appearance, like I can put makeup on, like I can at least feel good about myself today, like how I look in the mirror. So people start playing with their own hair because it's the only thing that they can actually control in their life right now.
I agree.
And I get that, and I respect that. And for the people that have asked me about like DIY haircuts, I'm like, please wait. But then what I've actually been doing is I have been giving them permission. And I'm like, you know what? If you really can't possibly wait and you absolutely must, literally like take your hair, you know, in your curls, and you grab your curl, and where you see that like little scraggly bit right on the tip, just like pinch that and cut that teensy little bit off with super duper sharp shears, like the sharpest shears you can possibly imagine using. And just know that like I'm probably gonna have to fix it, and fixing it may mean going shorter when you come back in. And then all of a sudden they're like, oh, no, sharp shears? I don't have sharp shears. Who has sharp shears? What, you're going to have to go shorter? And then, but almost like giving them that permission allowed them to like really take a moment to think about it, instead of like in desperation, I'm going to cut my own hair. Right. And I don't know, it's like diffused the people that have requested classes on how to cut the hair.
I think so many Black girls have gotten whoopings for cutting their bangs.
Yeah.
There's no.
And I think it's important to understand that anybody with tight curls, don't ever, just don't.
I have a question.
Don't do it.
Who tried to ever give themselves like T-Boz bangs? Let's be honest, because I
never. That was not my thing.
It was like, it was here. It was exactly.
Okay, I know this might not.
That was a haircut.
Talking about the Chinese bangs. Are you talking about the Chinese bangs?
Yes.
The Chinese bangs?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Oh, okay. Yes. Okay. Yes, I did. Yeah. I have a picture somewhere, and if I find it, I will post it. But I called myself.
I had never a bang girl.
I was giving myself a bang. So what I did was I pulled my hair to the front, right?
Yeah.
Then I took the hair and I pulled it down where I wanted to go.
Yeah.
Cut it. And then I end up with those artsy girl bangs.
Yep.
Yeah, the ones in the middle of your forehead. Yep. 7th grade.
And every day you just fucking straightened them. Like that's what you did. So my hair.
I have a confession after this.
Okay, so let's just do confessions, because I cut my own hair at some point, and I remember full tension, and I cut it, and the shit was just up here. Yeah. And I was like, well, that's not gonna fucking work. And there wasn't a flat iron yet, so I'm taking like the flat end of the curling iron. I'm like, come on, we can work, right? And and I wanted to be T-Boz so bad. All day, swear to God, I know every song. Hit me, I will just lyric it out. Don't do that, please. No, we're in public. Don't do that shit right now. So I put my hair a long time ago. I'll be back.
I actually did a keratin treatment on my bangs, because like bangs were a thing, and like, you know, the like nice full straight like curtainy bangs, but I have curly hair, and that just doesn't really work. So I took it a
straight bang on curly hair.
I took it upon myself to give myself a keratin treatment on my bangs, but left the rest of it. I don't know if I want to find a picture of that, but sure enough, like the keratin treatment took, and I had these like poker shape. But you know, when you're like keratin treatments, like a lot of times they really like kill the curl and kill the hair. So like they were just Did it.
Right.
You know, like, cause you can like give them a little bend or something. No, I just had like
an octopus,
and then curly hair. So I had this like Harajuku style, like poker straight bangs that were like this, that had no movement or flow, and then this like really big curly. It was not good.
Yeah, I had a haircut.
No.
Well, they were not bangs, but I had a little short crop do, and I called myself. I couldn't wait on somebody to cut it, so I called myself cutting it, and I cut it way too short, like right here in the crown.
Yeah,
it was awful. I couldn't get like the little, because that's back when we used to wear like stack curls. And I could not, my stack curls was real short right here in the center. So I had to cut the whole thing super, super short, which just left me with a slick down the entire, I had to wear slick down for about 3 months with a little wave for 3 months, just so I could just go out in the world and look like something. Because it was so short right here in the center. It was awful. I was like, I will never cut my own hair ever again in life. And I have not done it since. I will wait.
Ronnie, you've been cutting. You've been cutting your hair. You stopped recently. You stopped.
Yeah, well, yeah.
For the
So, like,
last year and a half, you've been cutting your own hair here and
so
there.
for longer than that, because remember when I first met you, my hair was as big as your hair. My hair was really
your hair was that long. Wow.
My hair was, yeah. You'd have to look at my Facebook pictures. I had big hair.
Okay.
And then I wanted to cut it, so I started cutting it myself, but I kept messing it up, and it was like uneven. And I think I ended up with like a little baby fro. And I've been still, trying to cut in it. So I finally, like last year, stopped doing it, and it's finally starting to grow back,
It looks so much better since we had our last. I had to have a talk with her one day. She was like, "I'm gonna cut my hair," and then she cut it, and then she's like, "I don't like my hair." Like we went through this whole like 6-month period of her not liking her hair. But now, like, first of all, I'm tired of this conversation. You cannot cut your hair anymore. When you come to class, you will get a haircut. And then we made it very clear that when she comes to class, that Elise specifically will cut her hair. So then there is a consistent person cutting it every time, and the direction doesn't change. So every single time she comes to class, Elise cuts her hair. And then I don't hear anything about it. Like, I won't hear that somebody messed it up. Somebody cut too much on this one side, or she cut a hole because she had holes.
I had
that whole back part finally connects.
This whole part right here was like flat. It's still shorter than the rest. It was awful. It was just, yeah. I mean, if anybody needs to know, don't cut your hair. Here I am. Like, I am the whole reason why you don't cut your own hair. Just don't.
Yeah, she cannot cut her hair anymore. She's blown it out and cut it herself. Still jacked it up.
Aisha was like, "You don't like your hair because you keep cutting it yourself." I'm like,
it's funny because we've obviously all tried to cut our own hair to less than desirable results, and we have some people in the comments, some fellow stylists, curl specialists, and whatnot, commenting that they've also given themselves haircuts and completely regretted it. And then other stylists who just don't really have somebody to cut their hair in their area. We see Lisa saying she needs one of us for her haircut, along with Wendy, that she needs a haircut.
There needs to be like some Puerto Rican hairstylist retreat where everybody gets their haircut.
That's really why I go to class. It's like,
that's what we do need. We need a real stylist retreat where we're not teaching any classes. There are no classes, and we can just, everybody can have a spa day.
Yeah, like everybody
do each other's hair.
It will be a full-on self-care.
I need a
self-care day where we get massages, get our nails done, get cuts, color.
Right. Well, my color is good. I'm good on color. It's that haircut that's the issue.
Lisa, I'm going to be driving to Vegas in a week or two.
You drive? Oh, you said you're driving to Vegas?
Yeah, I was telling Lisa I'll be driving to Vegas. I'll be in Vegas in either next week or the week after. I haven't decided.
Yeah, we actually make it a point on the last day, at least somewhere in that last 3 hours, that everybody gets an opportunity to get their haircut. Every single time we've done class, and everybody, for the most part, always gets a haircut. Like, I'm literally running out the door. I'm going to the airport in a fro. every time because I literally only have like 20 minutes for somebody, or usually it's Ronnie who cuts my hair in about 20 minutes. And then we're off, I'm off to the airport normally. That's the only way I get my hair cut. Luckily, I know how to style it. But we've been growing out of, my crown is growing out. And so for me right now, it's like really important that I just stick it out with Ronnie until I get my hair back to where it was, so that the direction of my haircut doesn't change again.
We've got it all figured out now.
Right. So we're in a personal now because of that. And I was cutting my hair because I personally suffered.
Hey, Michael. Hey,
You should have just moved over, Adriana. You could have covered her, like just do one of these. You could have covered the door.
He's mad at me. Would you say something?
No big deal. We'll blur that. No, I actually suffered some damage because we had to overprocess my hair to get the red off. And so I'm finally grown out of that, but it broke off quite a bit over perfect. It grew out quite a bit over time. So, okay. So it sounds like for stylists, the challenge is that there is nobody in the area that you could connect with for you to get your hair cut by. That's what it sounds like. I think it's pretty interesting style, but I really think that we all should be getting haircuts too, like not us doing our own haircuts.
Mm-hmm. So, well, I think the issue what can we do to make that better? I think the issue is, especially dealing with like tight curls, there are not very few people in Dallas that can actually cut my hair the way I need it cut. Like they might be able to cut like curly hair in general, but when you talk about like, I have a tapered cut. So you got to really know how to cut that taper. You can't go in there playing. You know, get that because that angle in the back. I need that angle to be sharp. I need all my angles. I need that big good angle back there. And not everybody knows how to cut a proper tapered cut. But not in Dallas. I think there are only about 6 or 7 people that cut curly hair in general, and only out of those, only maybe 2 or 3 of them can cut tight curls, and then I might be the only one that actually cuts tapers. So who's gonna cut my hair?
So, you need to do a class, Sonny. That means you need to teach a class in Texas.
Yeah, that's it. But
right.
That taper cut.
Right. I'm not even gonna argue with that. You're right.
Yeah, that taper cut is hard. Like yes, it is.
Taper cut is the easiest thing. It is easy.
If it was so easy, Ronnie, I would not be Florida Evans on my timeline. Florida Evans on my timeline. I see a lot of Florida Evans scrolling through my timeline, and I am underwhelmed because I don't know anybody
flat as a goddamn board.
Huh?
I said the back of their heads flat as a board.
Flat and just they look like they are like going to be an extra on Good Times. I can't take it. I can't.
Okay, Sonny. Let's do a class on tapers. Taper class, strictly tapers.
Yeah.
Everybody in Texas how to do it, and then you'll have somebody that can.
I feel like this is the accountability circle when we go live.
And then one step in and
we can do it.
Tapers.
We gotta wait till the world open back up. The world is still closed right now. The world outside is closed. Okay, we gotta work. They won't even let us do hair right now. No, none of us are doing hair right now. The world has not allowed us to do hair.
Perfect time and perfect place. I do believe in that stuff. There is time and places for stuff, and maybe.
Oh, absolutely. Unless we're
gonna do a virtual class, that's all we can do right now.
No, they need that up close and personal so they can know how to pinch those corners. Those corners are not pinched. Like I don't think people realize with the taper, like there should be like some angling here. Then that angling travels this way. Like I don't think people, because it's a visual thing they're not connecting with, and they're just giving people Florida Evans froze. And I'm like, that nobody I know personally in 2020 that is a young woman out here in the streets Nobody ever aspired
Florida
to look like Florida Evans in a haircut. Like, we can make her a modern day Florida Evans, and I think the taper, when done properly, is a modern version. If Florida Evans were living in this time, she would have Ronnie's taper. That's what she would have. She would have
Yes.
But that was
Ronnie doesn't even like her taper.
I'm looking at your taper as what it could be, not what it is right now. You're looking at current taper.
I still think your hair, it looks dope for quarantine. I mean, you are giving quarantine vibes, honey. Taper vibes.
Absolutely. Well, at the end of the day, yes, it's just a matter of starting up that conversation about how to make that look more polished for 2020. We're working with a modern curly, and modern curlies deserve modern looks. Now this conversation, this is hair. This is how hair happens. We're talking about hair cutting, and then we end up talking about
I want to bring something up.
We're still talking about haircut.
Go ahead, Meg.
But you know what? No, if somebody hasn't gone, I want to hear their opinion, but I do want to share something.
Go ahead.
Offering the floor. I think tapers in the tighter curl community have also inspired more barber work. And it's been so nice to see really nice barbership in a multitude of women and men on social media right now. And I think that's something I would.
Are we talking about Wendy? She's killing it.
Okay.
No,
Wendy is
badass.
She is. We see you, Wendy. We see you. You roll through our timelines, and you give us a refreshing version of those tapers that are going through that look like Florida Evans. So you're saving.
Yeah,
you are definitely saving tapers. And like Levita said, she does have a very feminine approach with her shears and her clippers.
That is, yes. The hardest thing is to make it look feminine and soft.
I'm attending Wendy's clipper class when she gets on that.
Oh yeah,
giving them that modern day Anita, that 1985 Anita Baker look. Do y'all remember that? That 1985 Anita Baker, and she had that tape. She had a mean taper, okay?
Yeah,
taper cut. Back in the day, I've had women sit up and they be like, "Oh, I feel like Anita." I'd be like, "That's what you're supposed to feel like, girl."
Okay. like a soul princess. You feel real sultry.
And that taper is it's very sexy, because one thing I can say about having natural hair, when your hair is you have your taper and then you have that in between stage, and then you'll go into a cute bob. But that thing that's in between that nice bob and that taper is childish. And when you grown, it is. You look childish. You look like you're 12 years old. But if you're a woman of a certain age, you don't want to look like you're 12 years old. You want to feel and look like a woman.
Grown-ass lady.
No, a grown ass woman. Nobody me. I don't even leave my house in a poof because it makes me feel like I'm 12. Okay, I want to feel like a grown, sexy woman when I leave my house. So that taper gives you that grown woman look until you can get to something that's big enough and long enough to actually look like something.
No, I can see that. I have a client who wears a taper, and so she came in one day, and her hair, she came in for a cut, and she, I always let them choose my short clients if they want me to shampoo them that day, but I actually made the decision because her hair was actually her styling was so impeccable, and when we got done, it looked even better after we cut it. And so she went out in the world. It was one of these nice summer days in Chicago, and later on the day, she sent me some messages girl, some teenager, some young boy tried to hit on me. It was I look really good in my, he was like, your hair though, and her hair is blonde. You know what I'm saying? So her cut was even more it was even more elevated than it could have been. But yeah, she was she got a whole bunch, and she's it was men. She got a whole bunch of compliments from men after she left the salon that day. So to know that, like, you know, hair that women, because we get a lot of clients are like, I don't, how short do you have to cut it? Like, I'm not used to having short hair. And it's just like, man, like
that whole stuck on long hair is a whole nother conversation.
Well,
I mean, that's look in a trip to the therapist.
I don't think anybody here, none of us have long hair. Look at that.
No.
None of us. And we're living our best lives.
Yeah, long hair does not necessarily make you beautiful, but this attachment to
because long hair just
to me.
is,
I'm like, what? I can't. I'm every time I'm here your whole life, you know.
right.
And everybody with long hair wears ponytails. If you want a ponytail, you know what you're gonna look like without hair. Stop it.
Yeah.
Or a bun like this. This is where they live in this bun.
I don't get
always in a bun.
That's a good point. But and I always say that long hair just doesn't have a look. Like when I cut my hair all the time, I used to get friends like, why are you cutting your hair? And I was like, because it don't look like nothing. I need it to have a look. It needs to live. It needs to move. It should be doing something. Hold on a second. Hold on. Pierce.
I definitely get the most compliments on my hair when it is above my shoulders. Anything longer, like, yes, it's nice, it's curls, it's long, but like it doesn't do anything.
And like our version, like me and Adriana's cuts are pretty similar, but they're still both tapers, but they're mild.
Graduation.
And it's kind of like
graduation, honey.
Anisha's hair real quick. Like I can't. It's so mild, but it's there, guys.
Adriana, you have
I see your angle. You still rocking angles, honey.
You have your corners.
You have your corners.
They're growing up. But
so tell me this: why do you taper your corners like that, or why did you taper your corners?
So I got a really fun, short, graduated bob haircut back in November, and it was just like a creative haircut, and she did that, and then I just kept it up because growing it out sucks. I haven't wanted to deal with like the grow out process, and I thought it was like kind of cool and kind of funky, you know, because it gives me a little bit more bone structure, because I feel like with my hair, like you kind of lose my bone structure, and so by having like that little bit of something here, like gives me a little loop.
Yeah,
and
it just kind of brings like the face up a little, and it kind of disappears because you don't really notice that it's there unless you're really kind of looking for it. But it brings out my cheekbones and draws the eye here, as opposed to when all of that is like really full.
You know, that's one of the reasons when I get every day, people are like, when are you going to grow your hair back out? Are you going to let it grow out big again? And I'm like, no, because I like the way that I'll let
you have your angles, like it gives you like boom, boom, boom.
Yeah,
and it pulls everything up.
Tapered down here and off of my neck. I like that look. I like it off of my ears. Yeah. I don't mind.
It really brings out your cheekbones. Like you have like really like high prominent cheekbones with that, and it actually looks very youthful. I think
I like the look. So I'm not attached to long hair because of its long hair. You know, I like having a style and a look and some flavor. Like, I don't need long hair to make
definitely a feeling.
Yeah.
Feel good.
No, agreed. And that's funny. That's why I asked, why did you cut it? Because it actually did give you the angles. When we cut your hair in Minnesota, you wanted some angling. And
yes, girl.
With Adriana's hair, the way that her hair lays, because she has such a loose curl.
Yeah.
When I mean heavy, like her curl goes like curl and then curl again.
Yeah. Yeah, like what is that guy?
Right. Like curl and then curl again. It's hard to create the angles because she doesn't really have the support of hair laying on top of hair, on top of hair, like say that I do. So that actually
have
did
to go short for that.
Right there actually did give you those angles that you were looking for. So
Yeah,
I actually love your tapered and like corners.
Yeah, I really been digging it, and I have trimmed those myself.
I love cutting this part and this part back here. That's my favorite part to cut in a taper.
I have trimmed these guys by myself, and I've definitely even messed those guys a couple times, and I kind of gave myself like little butch squares, and then I had to kind of grow it back out to get the point.
Yeah, I think it's really all about shape. It's not about that's why haircuts at home are just a no. You're not gonna make the shape any better. You're not gonna create the shape that you need. And it's when you're wearing your hair naturally curly, it is all about the shape. No matter what kind of curl you have, if you don't have a great shape, it's just not going to be a great look.
Trust.
That's all people see. I tell my clients that all the time. When people see you in the world, all they see is your shape. That's what they see when they're standing across the room from you, is the shape of your hair. If they see your definition on your ends and your shape, that's all other people see. You might see that your base is frizzy as shit and like it's tangled up, but no, the world does
Everybody
not
else
see that.
is looking at the tree.
Yes.
They're looking at the leaves. They're not looking at the tree. There you go.
Right.
That is the best example. Adriana, look at you. She hit it right on the head. There. I couldn't have said it
the
better.
Leaves on the tree. You're looking at the big tree and the shape and the fullness and all of that.
That's all. I have a big right here. That is very flat. Like I can't really do anything about that. That's a haircut situation. This is the part y'all can't see. Y'all see this part on yourselves, like this very front part. You're like, okay, I'm killing it in the front, and then you turn to the side, and you are not killing it right here. Like, and we see that in the world. We see that you're not killing it right there in that corner. Everybody sees that, so that's something to take into consideration. When you are when you start to cut, you start to you start to change the landscape of where your hair could be going, and you're changing the story because we might now have to cut more hair off than you anticipated. I mean,
I can tell right now I'm having issues right on this side from cutting my own hair, and right up in here, it's affecting the shape.
But I see that little corner. I just want to cut that little corner like this.
I know that little. It's like
right there. It's right there.
It's like it's correct. It's correct. That's my shape.
Wendy really needs a haircut. Yeah. Wendy, we got some people in the comments saying that they really need haircuts and that they've kind of done some undesirable things to themselves.
So does anybody
said about a hair wrap tutorial? I'm like, that's Meg can do a hair wrap tutorial. She's good at wrapping.
Meg does amazing hair.
I actually am planning to do one today.
Nice.
Because hey, how about that? I'll tune into that because I need some hair wrap.
I tried wrapping my hair the other day and it kept, I think it's because my hair's too silky. It literally just like slid off my head. Like every time I tied it, it just whoop and slid off my head.
You know what you need? They have these bands. Because I used to have that problem when my hair was longer because I would have to put it up in a ponytail before I would put the head thing on. So they have these like velvet bands that you can put on so it won't slip.
And I just don't.
So you got to put a headband on just to put the head wrap on?
Otherwise, the band, it'll slip off of her hair because her hair is so silky.
Mm-hmm. Oh. She's like, I don't have no problem.
I ain't got no problem.
It took me a good 15 minutes just to get this to stay up here. So
she's like, I don't have those silky hair problems. I don't understand.
I don't know about your life.
Yeah, I was like, no, I don't have any silky hair problems. You're right. Any of the problems, silky hair, Sunny doesn't have them. Now, if you want to talk about nappy problems or not nappy problems, I got you.
I cannot. So does anybody in the comment section, if you guys have any questions, please drop questions. We are heading into the last few minutes of, are you gonna record this, Meg, though?
I'm just gonna do it. I want to beta test a little bit and see if you guys like it.
We like the ones you put up on your
always
thing.
have nice.
Yeah.
Have something
Yeah, your hair wraps are always killing the game.
I really
all
want
of
to
them.
learn. No, I want to learn when like there's a crisscross and it kind of like it really cups the head and it has to go over the ear and it lives like right here and it just kind of crisscrosses around.
That's the one where you put it towards the front. You take the two ends, bring them around.
Okay.
And then you could twist it.
I actually know. I just don't do them.
You can either twist each end, so you have to take one and kind of hold it, twist it, kind of tuck it.
Okay,
and
like
and that's how you get that like that.
Or like
Or
like you have to decide if you're gonna pull it going this way or pull it going this way, and that determines like what you end up doing as far as like what's gonna look like in the front.
That not on the front.
Aisha, I'm really mad. About 2 years ago, I sent Aisha a whole stack of head wraps. She had never worn them.
Well, I might have worn one of them. You probably never seen me in them. First of all, for me to wrap my hair up, that's a whole I gotta do something.
That's a whole thing
to get my hair flat, to put the thing on my head.
I understand. I understand.
For me.
Or if it's a twist, like if I have flat twists or braids or something, that's the only time I can wear head wraps. Other than that, it's I gotta work to get into
I agree with that. I tried to put a head wrap on top of my wash and go, and it was just poofed out. Like all of this was all poofed out, and I was like, this is not gonna work. So I would have to put my hair in a poof or blow dry it out just to be able to do it. So yeah, I definitely understand that. That's
Lavita's saying, Aisha, you should have just grabbed one. We want to see it done on tighter hair and big hair.
Well, right now my hair
that's your next parenting. That's your next parenting, honey.
Right now my hair is damp from working out, so it is drying back out. So no, I can't do it now because if I put it on now, my hair is wet. I'm gonna jack it up and make it frizzier than it has to be. So I gotta let it dry. So no, I can't do it now, Lavita. But it has to be on.
Aisha will be posting this on her Instagram at some point this week.
No, I won't.
We'll just have to tune into Meg's class in a few hours or whatever it is.
Meg is gonna show us. Meg is the one that keeps coming on with her little mug and smiling at us.
We're getting intimate.
Smizing.
That's Meg.
Ronnie, where's your head wrap? Lavita's asking.
Oh, Ronnie wears head wraps too.
She sure does.
She looks cute when she wears hers too.
I have so many head wraps.
We lost Ronnie. Oh no, there she is.
It just takes so much time for me to put one on. I'm like, I love them, but I have to be having a super really bad hair day.
Yeah,
that's when I have them.
That's when I wrap my hair, is when I don't want my hair to be shown.
Yeah. Aaron wants to know, does anybody know where to get some bomb hats? I'm not a hat girl, so
I use a visor.
I love a good hat.
You do cute hats, Sonny. You do.
I love a hat, honey. I live for
what are you
gonna
to stay on your head?
I'm cheap, so I like to go to forever21.com and get some of their felted hats. I love their hats. Another good place is Target. Target always has good hats. I get a lot of hats from Target. So don't sleep on Target. Even if you have to go into the men's section sometimes to get the really good hats, go back there and they always have hats. Target, easy. Target is the easiest place to run and go get a hat.
So I have a fact for you. Today was supposed to be the Kentucky Derby. And the last time it never was
been canceled.
It's been canceled. Thank you, Adriana. Was 1951.
Wow.
So,
look at that.
Oh yeah, this was a hat day. I honestly, me and hats, it's a no. I didn't
love
like
hats, but my hair has always been for hats.
I didn't like to wear hats when I was relaxed.
Hats are
I didn't like a hat.
I want to get a hat. I want to show you guys.
Yeah, I didn't wear
hats always fall off.
No, I just couldn't get them on.
Yeah, like they literally, like I smash it on and then it goes.
I guess.
Oh my God, Sunny!
Yeah, well, I'm ready, man.
Yes.
Look at
I'm ready. Why didn't you tell me it was the Kentucky Derby, honey?
Oh yes,
You did not.
ready.
Wait. Let me wait.
No, she brought a cup.
You did not tell me.
Sunny.
Look at her.
Baby, get you some of this flour. Get you, or whatever this is. Get you some.
That's
I am ready, honey. It's fine.
I'm so mad at her. And then she got real spicy with it too. Like she got real snobby.
Baby, you know what? I'm gonna do a whole photo shoot today for Kentucky Derby. I think I like this one better. This one is.
I love that one.
I love that.
I gotta figure out how to wear it. I think that's
nice
like
with your skin tone.
I like it like that.
That was like such a badass hat. I can
Yeah. Ooh, come on with the shade. Come on with that yellow shade.
I love it.
Come on, look, and it's giving me one eye realness.
super
You
villain.
only get to see one side. Yeah.
Give us Fashion Fair. Essence of Fashion Fair.
Yeah, Fashion Fair, right.
Yeah, give us Fashion Fair. That good old nasty Fashion Fair. Come on.
She went through the entire 3 of the pulpit.
She's about
I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm Kentucky Derby ready.
She's matching.
They mad.
And I am. Oh, I got more hats. I got like 15 more of these, not just like this, but they're all different. I'm ready. So I had this guy that I dated years ago, and his mother passed away. And she was a wonderful lady, but she was a hoarder. So she would just go buy like everything. These hats still have this hat still got the tag on it, honey. She bought this hat. This was $60 hat, and she never wore it. It still had a tag on it. Like she would just buy things. So when she passed away, he was like, I don't know what to do with all these hats. I was like, don't worry about it. I said, so I went through all of them and picked the ones that I liked. I got one that's got a drape that goes all the way down. Like it's beautiful.
Why don't you bring that one out? Or is that for your photo shoot later?
Honey, you got to do a photo shoot.
That makes sense.
I'll be right back.
You're like,
You need to do. She doesn't do.
You're going to have a fashion show.
I actually have a couple hats of Rona. I have a couple. They're at my mom's house. But the problem for me is getting a hat over my hair. I can't, or I'm gonna have a headache.
yeah,
I can't. I love that hat. That's my kind of thing. I like the floppy hat.
Yeah. This is vintage. I don't know how old it is, but it still has like the label of it at the very top. That's when you know it's real. There's no tags. It's just all like prints and stuff. But my dad gave me this one. It's not Kentucky Derby, but this is honestly my favorite hat.
It's giving me Blossom, but I love it.
Totally. I wear like a blazer with it, or it's just like a really nice like vest.
Mm-hmm.
It's so beautiful. I don't know. I love it. Hats do make me happy, but I don't have a collection like
that. Hat would go with your cute shirt that you showed us last week. Remember that cute?
Yeah. Oh, the lace.
The one that you should wear with high-waisted jeans.
Me and Adriana got that at the same. We went shopping in Brooklyn and came across this amazing vintage.
Yeah, that would look good with that.
Incredible. Oh, she's not that.
Oh, she got more. She got more fashion for us. Did y'all have any about haircuts? Anything you guys wanted to ask about haircuts? Please ask. We will answer. And if there's anything specifically that y'all want us to talk about, let us know too. This actually came up this morning. We really didn't have a topic. We were just gonna come out and just be randomly talking. And I was like, we need something to talk about. Something to guide the conversation.
It's kind of fun.
Yes, absolutely. Y'all done made Sunny tear her closet up looking for that hat. Girl, bless her heart though. She's gonna come back with another hat for us. Trust and believe. Trust and believe. She is. She is. Listen, just like y'all are struggling with hair, look at this whole, like, look at that. Like, that's not how I want my hair to be more like this, but it's like that.
Like, you can fake it. You can fake it until you get your next haircut.
Her hair, when it fluffs up,
it'll find my Drake hat.
There it is.
My mother did some reorganization, but
you got another hat for us? Come on. Hey.
Oh yeah, that's very
nice. Ah.
Oh yeah, that's you still Ebony Fashion Fair. I'm getting Ebony Fashion Fair. Yeah. You got to the fashion fair part, and those ladies was
I can bring this hat, but you know, I said one day this hat will it'll be in style one day. One day I can put this hat on. It's even got it's got a little thing so it sits so it doesn't fall off your head. So when you're in church and you doing all of this and bobbing your head, and it's you can get the Holy Ghost in this head, and you ain't got to worry about it falling out.
I promise.
Oh, I cannot stand
absolutely no sense. Zero cents.
Honestly, I think you did the best closing ever. It's around 1. Do you guys? Oh, Layla, she said you're beautiful. To Sunny.
I have a question. Cindy says, I have a question.
Thank you.
Taking Head Shape Matters class. What's your take on it? I haven't personally taken it. Who's taking Head Shape Matters?
I haven't personally taken it. I was actually supposed to go in April, but that was obviously postponed.
Yeah, I haven't taken it.
I've heard wonderful things about Head Shape Matters. Like I've heard that it's a really good class, and it helps with like straight hair cutting as well. So, because I do think head shapes do matter.
Yeah.
I
like having as many tools in my tool belt. So I like to take, things that make sense to me. I'm like, all right, yeah, I want to see what they have to say. I want to see what tools I can add to my tool belt. So I am actually signed up for one, and I'm really bummed that it had to be postponed, but I believe it's back on for like October or something. I gotta look.
I'm not sure how I feel about it. It's like if I was doing more straight hair like I was, years ago, because I can completely understand how that matters, because it's how the hair hangs on certain areas of the head. So yes, the head shape, if I understand that if I cut, I don't know, a certain angle and somebody has like a square shape back here versus somebody who has got a round shape, I could do the exact same cut. It's going to look totally different. I understand that. What I'm having issues with, or what stops me from wanting to take this class, is how that translates on tight curly hair.
Yeah.
Because it's so much about shape, which we actually kind of do the same thing. Well, at least I do when I'm cutting. I'm thinking about the shape of the hair and the angles in respect to what parts are flat and what parts, kind of protrude. So I'm not sure how that would translate. I've heard the people who I've heard say that it translates well or it's helped their curly game. They don't work with the kind of hair that I work with all the time.
So with the hair already being three-dimensional,
it's about it. Say it again.
I can agree with that. I think it'll be great for like my hair types, like Meg's, working on looser textures, which a lot of my clientele is like across the boards. But on the tight curls, like I use the techniques that I've learned through Cut It Kinky.
Right. So my issue is that I want to take the class because, I'm always curious. However, I don't know if it's going to, is the return on my investment going to be worth it? Because I do some loose hair, but I do more tighter curls than I do loose hair. So I don't know if it's going to be worth it. Like if I end up taking it, because I know it's a great class, but if I end up taking it, it's going to be, more out of like
fun
to learn.
You do it like I ain't got shit else to do. Let me take this class.
Yeah. Like, okay.
Take my money.
Let me take this one.
Yeah, and the other thing to point out too, because what you're essentially saying is that with tighter curls being three-dimensional, then there is no room for taking in the account of the shape of the head, because the hair is making the shape. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like,
and sometimes
it's already out there living and where it lives. And so no matter how my head is actually shaped underneath this is where my hair lives at on its own without my head.
Yeah.
Right? So that would be I think that would be the
yes and no. So there is. I mean, yeah, that's part of it. But I mean, because it's still the shape of the head still matters, you know, on how those angles are gonna lay. Right.
Right.
But when you've got hair that moves, like Adriana's and Meg's hair, the way that it moves, the shape is going to matter a whole lot more, because it's so yeah.
Okay. Her connection,
as opposed.
Is it running or is it okay?
You know, it's our connection. It keeps your
everybody blinking
a little like you froze for like a hot second.
Oh, I wonder if that's my, because you guys have been freezing on me the entire time.
Oh yeah, it's your connection.
It's you, boo.
It's all you, babe. It's all you.
It might be where I am in here. I might have to move.
But any other questions? Yeah. Any other questions? Please ask. Someone that took it said we wouldn't need another class if we took HSM. I mentioned one to take Rezo, but she said I wouldn't need it with this class. I want to take Rezo because I saw what she did on tight curls at the ATL show.
Well, who did on tight curls?
I haven't taken it yet.
I won't. I've taken Rezo. I will not say that. It depends on how tight she is. Depends on if Rezo is gonna matter or not. I think
and how long her hair is.
Yeah, because when we're talking about longer, like hair like Aisha's, I can really use Rezo with Aisha's hair. Now, more like with Ronnie's hair, I need to cut a kinky class. Now what I will say, I've taken both the classes, and I do use Rezo a lot. Like I think it's like with anything, you take what you need from every class that you take. Mm-hmm. But I do think Rezo's class it's a good class. I learned a lot from that class. And I do use that cutting technique daily in the salon. So it was definitely worth my money because I use it all the time. And it does save time, and it does save you some time in your cutting, her technique. So I do think like it's a great class to take. But if you're talking about tight curls, you want to mix the cut it kinky with the Rezo.
But you know what? I've seen
but you don't with tight curls, you don't need Rezo. If you got that cut it kinky, you'll be okay.
But you know what? I've seen Nubia do hair like mine, and it came out really, really cute. It was impressive.
And I've seen her do hair like yours, and it came out. She had a frizzy afro. She looked a hot mess. I'm just saying.
With Rezo, well, the styling is one thing, but she did a really bomb haircut. Yeah. You know, she can cut some hair.
She
cut her a circle.
Can she style
her
hair? Maybe not. But she can definitely cut some hair. I've seen her do some tight, coily hair, and it came out really cute.
Me and Adriana took the Rezo class together, and we had two different experiences, but we had some positive influences in seeing shape differently, and like you said, using it when, for me, using it when it's necessary, but it's not something that I even think about. The class was enlightening. I think Nubia is a phenomenal person. I think she has a big heart. So it's led by a warm-hearted person. But I think, like anything else, whatever classes you take, whatever you invest in, if they're going to push you forward, great.
Rezo create circles because it's a circle cut.
It's going to push you forward in your skill, and it's good to ask around, and it's good that we take these classes and we share the opinions openly, because people want to know how was the class, because it's a huge investment. So I'm happy we're talking about this. I was like,
I had a great experience when I took that class. I had a lot of fun. It was a great experience. I learned a lot, and I used a lot of it. But yeah, I do hear a lot of mixed So I guess it just depends on how the class goes.
And I think
maybe
it was how she was feeling that day, because she cut her first. The first person hair that she cut was a kinky haired woman, and that was her model. But she cut her hair in a circle, and when you have tight curls, you need angles. She left with a circle. Now, if she wanted a circle, then that's great.
Well, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? She got what she
wanted. She does teach in circles. But she taught us how to, in my class, she taught us how to taper it.
Yeah. I did learn how to like graduate and taper with the reso. And it's interesting because I do incorporate that technique into my cutting, but it's like almost like a blend. Like I won't like completely do like a whole reso on somebody. Like it's another tool in the tool belt.
Absolutely.
I think it was worth the money. Yeah. I had a positive experience. I actually was still hung up with some questions at the end of class, and I was able to reach back out to her. And kind of clear up some of my misunderstandings, because Aisha knows I'm that student. Excuse me.
It's all good.
I have another question.
I appreciate it. I actually, as an educator, I definitely appreciate it when that Dallas class where we had all those people and everybody, Meg, Nicole,
great class.
That everybody, Chris, like everybody had so many questions. So that class actually personally pushed me. Like it really developed me as a teacher. So for that, I am thankful because I had to go back and like reevaluate how I was even participating in class. Like what was my role? And it changed that class changed the way we did every class after any other class we've ever done. But I have to say, I think with any class that you take, because listen, we follow everybody that is taking a class with us. And Sonny, your microphone is muted. Your microphone's muted. We follow everybody for the most part that is taking class with us. So we get to see like what people are actually doing, currently, like what they're posting, and how they're incorporating what they learned into, what they do. And so we can see when there's a bit of influence, even if there's just a slight change in the way that somebody may be cutting hair as opposed to what they were doing before. I see it all the time. So as an educator, I'm watching. I'm watching everybody and seeing. But what I will say is, I think you take what you need from the class in order to create any class you take, in order to create the aesthetic that speaks to you. People are coming to you because of what you produce. But I do see a lot of similarities between all of our cuts. They're not the same. They're very different. And I see a lot of differences even in our styling. Although I feel like me, Ronnie, and Sunny share a similar aesthetic when it comes down to styling, which is so pictures coming through my timeline. I can see it, but I can also see how
we influence each other.
Absolutely. I can see how the ideas, like us sharing ideas between each other, how that influences styling, how I teach styling in class, how that's influenced the way people are styling out in the streets. Like I've seen people kill it who were struggling before. Like to see that actually just as a person who shares, it makes me happy, because I know that at the end of all that client, she's happy. And that was what we ultimately want for those clients who are going to see these specialists to leave happy, not having to do their hair within 3 hours of a visit, because that's happening. It's still happening out there in the streets, because a lot of people are so married to, product lines. They're so married to, this is the way it's always been done, and there's no other way. And I think it's really important for us to continue to develop as professionals, because like I said, I've seen it for myself. Like I've seen myself change from when I started to now. I'm doing a whole bunch of different things that I wasn't doing before, and that's how you move.
Being an educator makes you a better stylist.
Absolutely.
Oh, absolutely. It forces you to be on your point. It makes you sharper.
It does. Yeah. You learn, you see, you pick up things, you and then you develop.
Well, people's questions force you to be better.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And models. So I think, when you're teaching a class, and the model is going to determine the class.
Absolutely.
It's going to have a huge impact on the student's experience. Because you can only do so much.
Cat is changing the experience today.
He's all here. He wants all of the cuddles.
Lorenzo? Which one?
Lorenzo.
He looks like it. That looks like that would be Lorenzo. It's not my son. It's your cat. I wonder where the person is that was annoyed with my son last week. I was annoyed with Lorenzo today. Can you move that cat? The cat.
He's not letting me live. Like, he is all here.
No, so this has been a great conversation, actually. And like I said, I'm not probably going to take Headship Matters. I do want to take Chanel. What's her name? Chanel. She does the angle thing. Oh, I can't think. Chanel. I think her name is Chanel Mariano. I think that's her name.
The Asian chick.
Yes, I want to take her class.
Yes, I want to take her class as well. She's been doing some great lives during the lives and some webinars during the quarantine.
Okay,
so
I'm
definitely check out some of the stuff she's been doing. I don't know if she slowed down a little bit, but she's been doing some really good stuff.
Okay, I definitely want to. I do want to take one of her hands-on classes, and I do want to take. Is it Rezo or Rezo? How do you say it? It's Rezo. Rezo. I do want to take a Rezo class at some point, but probably not this year, just because things have been crazy with outside being open. I'm probably when outside opens back up, I'm probably going to be doing some small group classes in a salon this summer. With those who are interested in learning more about cutting and styling tighter curls. So I'll probably be doing that this summer in a salon, since we can, intimately do things.
I've been doing that since last year, and they work out really well, because you get, especially the people who have the questions that they don't get from the bigger classes. Yeah, I think you're gonna like it. You might get hooked.
Okay, well, I'm excited to be offering that, because it's really hard to do virtual things with tight curls. I know a lot of people are doing virtual stuff, and I'm like, it's not the same. Being able to like walk around that hair and to be present with that individual that we're working on. We're taking that person, the models that we use, we're literally taking their entire experience and then making it a part of your experience as a stylist. So I'm very much about that. Like, we have to like be together. You need to be able to feel and see the things that I'm seeing, and I can explain to you what it is that you need to see. So that's why it's so it's incredibly challenging, and we've done it a couple of times. We've actually done we've done these workshops, the virtual workshops, and they were good. I think they were good for what we did, but it's just not the same. Everybody I think that's taken those virtual classes ended up in the actual live hands-on class. So with everything being more intimate and smaller, probably going forward for at least, I don't know how long it's going to be, but definitely I'll be doing some in salon classes. And there's people who live in this area that don't want to travel, or people who just want to come to Chicago. There's hotels by my suite space, so it'll be real easy for people to get there. So that's something.
And my Tampa salon is ready and available for whenever anybody wants to come down.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I was supposed to do
it. I'm ready, because I want to go to the beach.
The beach is open on Monday. Florida quarantine situation.
Well, can I? But I'm gonna need a bubble when I go.
Right.
Yep. They should create beach bubbles.
Well, this was fun.
This is fun. This is a fun conversation. Again, we pride ourselves on being very honest, very open about. These are the real discussions that we would have had. Like, this discussion is very not pulled back. I think everybody said exactly what was on their spirit and their mind. And Chanel Mariano, thank you, Wendy. Again, we see y'all out there, and we are I can't speak for everybody, but I'm proud of y'all for taking the curly hair seriously and giving clients who have been overlooked for a really long time and underrepresented the ability to live, like to actually live out in the world in a beautiful way. So I commend all of y'all for sharing what you know, and sharing your talent with us, all of your talents. Sunny with the hats.
He's giving us looks. Ooh, hey, girl.
Oh, okay. A mini stare down. We'll be back next week, I'm sure, talking about some other topic that may come up this week. We'll just let the week happen. That's what we do. And haircutting actually was a part of that conversation. You can follow us all at our individual. I didn't put mine up. Y'all did.
I didn't do that. I should do that.
Y'all are smart. I'm Chocolate Curls Beauty on Instagram. Ronnie's Curl Jones, curl.jones. Meg is Curly Hair Alchemist. Adriana is ADI.
It's AD_ALG. So it's like the first 2 letters of my first name. And then
you have there Amin Silk by Sunny with the hats. Thank you, ladies, for spending your time with us this Saturday. And thank you all for joining us. We definitely will be back in these social media streets.
Awesome.
Bye, y'all.
Have a great day.
Bye.
bye.